Before I begin, I'd like to send out my condolences to all involved in yesterday's horror crash in Nepal. As I, along with a lot of people, have mentioned, this has not been a good start to the year in aviation terms, with 3 major crashes already. Hi, I'm DJ's Aviation, and today I'm just bringing you an update on the cause of this crash. If you aren't aware, unfortunately last night in Australian time, a US-Bangla Airlines Q400 skidded off the runway, killing at this stage 49 of the passengers on board. Sadly, in most of these cases, people are very quick to blame the pilots, conditions, and so on. While everyone is valid to hold a view on it, for me, I just prefer to wait until we have some certainty on the cause of the crash. Either way, the reasoning for this crash is even more startling than simple pilot error. It seems that according to reports, there was quite literally a runway mix-up. I'm just going to go over in detail everything that happened with thanks to live ATC and their archive. This is how I've gotten all the communications. I'm not going to speak too fast because I know it can be a little bit tricky to understand, but this is what we know. The aircraft was cleared to land on runway 02. However, the controller then rang in and questioned the crew, saying, "You were given landing clearance runway 02, which all seems okay, but apparently they were heading towards runway 20. Seconds after this communication finished, a separate controller cleared BS211, the Flite, to land on runway 20. This might get a bit confusing, but from this there is another aircraft on approach, probably behind the aircraft, which questions what this Q400 is doing, and also questions which runway is actually in use. The Q400 pilots appear to then confirm a landing on 02, even after being given clearance to land on runway 20. But sadly, the mix-ups are not done. I say again, do not proceed towards runway 20, the controller says to the Q400 pilot. He responds by saying he will execute a right-hand orbit to hold for runway 02. A minute or so pass, and the Q400 comes back in contact with the controller, and the controller gives the flight crew an option of the 2 runways. They choose runway 20, and from there it is just simple standard procedure. The controller lists the wind and speed. From this point during the approach, the Q400 is reported to have not been able to see the runway, which of course is quite a concern. The controller, who has stuck with them throughout the ordeal for the second time, says for them to hook a right and complete another approach until they can see the runway. However, this is ignored and the aircraft confirms its landing on runway 02, even after saying it wanted to land on runway 20. At this point, the controller just confirms it can land on runway 02. At this stage, there have been a few reports signalling the aircraft skidded off the runway into a fence, then onto a field, while in flames, but a number of these still need to be validated. Overall, whether there was a language barrier or not clear communication, these along with any air accident are extremely heartbreaking, especially when they could have been prevented and everyone could have gone home to their family or their place of residency. I, along with all the members of the community, are sending our condolences to the friends and family who have been affected, and also wishing a safe and speedy recovery to the 20 or so who made it out of the crash alive. Thank you for watching.